YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Adrian the Barber, and I'm back with another haircut tutorial. Today I got my boy Deontay in the chair. You see, you got the little Odell Beckham top trying to do his thing. But I'm gonna do like a mid drop fade, and I also got like a little freestyle design that we've been doing for like the last couple months. And so I thought this would be a good tutorial to get in, show you guys the fading technique I use, as well with the way I did the design. I don't think I've ever taught a design here on YouTube before. So you see, the first thing I'm doing right now is I'm just going through combing the hair down, prepping my surface up. Before I even cut the hair, I spray some water on it. Also got some lusters, S-curl spray that I spray on, and I'm gonna curl sponge the hair first before I even go ahead and get into the haircut. Bam, see, I'm hitting it with some of that. Man, this stuff's great. Make sure you go onto like the luster site, or go to any like beauty supply store. You can probably find it there. And then I got my twist sponge. And I like to do this because this is the way your client's gonna wear their hair every day. They're gonna sponge it most of the time. And so I like to, before I go in and start cutting, I always like to style it first with the curl sponge. And then I'll go back, I'll comb it again, and kind of get the hair to lay the way it's supposed to lay. And so then when I go in and cut it, when they go back and tomorrow when they curl sponge their hair, you're not seeing like the separation from the top of the head and the sides. So what I'm doing here is, he kind of had like a little mushroom top growing out. So I'm just gonna take my OA blade and I'm just gonna kind of just trim up the sides a little bit. I don't want it falling over the edges, man. I want to try to give it the wild look, but at the same time you still want to make it look tame. So you see, I'm just barely taking anything off, man. I'm just hitting the sides, just kind of cleaning it up a little bit, really just shaping this hair. You see I got my comb. You see how you see that little separation, and I'm just kind of combing that down to get rid of that. And now I'm gonna take my 1.5 blade, and with this 1.5 blade, I'm gonna create my base. And so you'll hear me talking in a lot of my videos about creating a base that you can fade into. I think the preparation before the fade is a really big part in getting a really good fade. And so you see, I'm just going with the grain of the hair, and I'm taking down the bulk that's up there right below the top. And then when I do designs, I always like to make like just a rough line. I'm not gonna do a full design yet, but like just depending on the design and how you're gonna make it look. Like this, for instance, I'm just throwing in just a rough line, just tracing what we did before. And this helps with like if you have somebody who's keeping the same design, if you want to keep it consistent, if you throw in just like a rough line and then you go do your haircut and then you come back and you actually detail the design, you'd be able to keep your design pretty consistent. Like that's what we do he probably comes in like every 2 weeks. And so to keep that design consistent and to look the same way, I always just throw a rough line on there first. So I'm following the exact same lines like I did before, and the design's gonna look the same. Man, appreciate everybody who tuned in too on the live video this last week. We had a pretty good turnout. Hair Heroes Live every Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Make sure you tune in Central Standard Time. So now when I start the fade, so I want to keep his C cups. So instead of balding starting at the beginning of the C cup, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start right like at the top of the sideburn. I'm gonna leave that C cup area there, and I'll come back and fade it out later. And so now I'm just gonna make my guideline with my detailers. You can also use your 5-0 or 5-aught blade, your T outliners, whatever you prefer to bald your clients out with. But I do a lot of my balding with my detailers, and I got future video coming out talking about like detailers versus T outliners, and I'll explain that more in that video. And so right now, yeah, I'm just, like I said, balding the hair out. And this is all just preparation work for my fade. So you'll see, like I always say, you always want to get the area as clean as you possibly can. And you never want to move to the next step until you completely get the area balded. Or like when my base that I made with my 1.5, I want to get my complete base all the way around the head finished before I move on to the next step. It's really just staying organized in the fade. So now I'm using my Andes Masters in this video. I have my zero guard on, and with the zero guard, I'm just gonna go up and I'm gonna create a weight line, and I'm gonna create a second base that I'm gonna fade out. And so you can see I got the 3 different levels right now, and that second line is a soft line, so it's gonna be easy to blend out. That first line I made on the bottom that's bald is a hard line, the one I made with my detailers, and that's gonna be a little bit harder to blend out. But I mean, I'll show you guys a technique I'll use in this video. So now, after I used my zero guard all the way closed on my masters, I'm gonna open it up halfway, and you can see I'm kind of just finessing that weight line out, and I'm just using the flick of my wrist to blend that out, and really just feathering the hair. Like, I have a really soft touch when I'm fading. I'm not pressing into my client's head. You can see his head's not bobbling all over, and so it doesn't take a lot of force to blend that line out. Like I said, it's a soft line. And then after I go through and I follow my line down to the back, halfway open, I'm gonna open my clippers all the way up, same zero guard on there, and I'm just gonna blend this into the top. And sometimes if that zero guard doesn't do it, you might have to switch to the one guard, and you know, start with that closed or halfway open. You can kind of go and you can flick out the rest of that weight and get a nice blend into the top of the head. And so you can see how I'm using my brush to continue to brush the hair down, because I don't want to create a separation line between the top of the head and my fade. I want it to all look like it's all going together. And so I'll use my brush and my comb a lot to continue to comb that hair down and getting rid of that separation line. And now here in the back, I'm doing the same thing, zero guard. It's halfway open right now, and just blending out that weight line that I created. And then do the same thing. I'm gonna open it up all the way and continue just to blend it up into the top. And like I said, the next step would be, if that zero guard doesn't blend that all the way into the top, the next step would be put your one guard on, close it. I'd probably open it just a little bit. I wouldn't have it all the way closed. And that's also another video I'll be talking about, is like guard lengths and things like that, because it can get confusing, especially for new barbers. So now, after I get that smooth transition into the top, I'm gonna take my masters again, and I'm gonna start to blend out that bottom line. And so I'm gonna close them all the way, and I'm gonna start hitting up that bottom line. Again, I'm not putting a lot of pressure into the client's head. It's really, like I said, I'm feathering the hair. I got a soft touch, and just trying to get that line out as best as I can. It's not gonna come out all the way with the masters, especially with these masters. They're not really zero gapped, and so they're not truly taking out the line all the way. So on a lot of heads, I have to go back with my detailers and go in and flick out that line the rest of the way. But you can see, like, as I move up, I'm about halfway up now. Now I'm gonna start hitting that C-cup area. So when I had my clippers all the way closed, I stayed away from that because I want to keep that line defined. And so now I'm at my halfway point. Now I'm gonna start to go all the way up to the front of the C-cup area and start blending that into the rest of the haircut as well. And then when I go back to line it up, I'm still gonna have it, since it's not gonna be completely bald, I'm still gonna have that definition of that curve. And again, just blending that first guideline into the part that we already blended out. And you'll see this video, I'm mostly just using my masters. And you'll see in a lot of my videos, I switch between masters and seniors. I'll do some videos fading with BGRCs and other detachable blade clippers. But I mean, I really just go through phases, man. Like sometimes I'll be stuck on some seniors or on wall products in general for like months, and other times, like right now, I'm on my masters kick, and so I'm just like blending out everything with masters, fading everything with masters. And so after you work your way all the way up, after you go through all your dimensions, or your levels, you start at the bottom, you go halfway, you go all the way open. you can kind of go back and find the spots that need to be blended out better. And like I said, use your mirror, find your spots, and you kind of just play with the lever. And so, like I said, just flick it back and forth, go around and hit those dark spots up. Always start higher if you're not sure about where you should be with your lever. Start higher, hit it. If that spot doesn't come out, lower a little bit. Like the masters have the notches on each side. Just go down notch by notch if you're not comfortable with moving, in halves. Me in particular, I'm more comfortable. I kind of know what my measurements are, and I know what's gonna take what out. And so, I can kind of just freestyle it. But like I said, in this video, you'll see how at some points I'll go notch by notch. If you're ever not comfortable and you don't want to take something lower than it's supposed to be, start high, work your way low, notch by notch, man. There's no shame in working notch by notch. It takes time, and the more hair you cut, the better you become with your measurements. So you see, I'm using the same exact technique in the back. Went back there, started with my clippers all the way closed, blend that out. So now, like I said earlier, I got my detailers, and any of that line that I still see, with your detailers, you really, really want to have a soft touch. If you go in there hard, you'll create another line, and you'll be sitting there stuck trying to blend that out. And so you really got to have a soft touch. So now I'm taking my 1.5 blade on my BGRCs, and I'm doing the same thing, creating that base. And so you really want to get a nice base with the design so you can get nice clean lines. So did the same thing, created my base, combed it down. You see how I don't have a separation line between the top and the sides. So now I got my detailers. I'm just going in, and on that rough line that I made, now I'm gonna start to clean it up and start to do some detail work. So you see I hit the top, and then I flip my clippers around, and I come, and to really make that line defined, you gotta hit that bottom line as well, just like I'm doing right now. And this goes for any type of designs or any type of simple lines. Even if you're just putting a straight part in somebody's head coming off their hairline, I always like to hit the top of that line, flip my clippers around, and come back and hit the bottom of that line. And you want to be careful so you don't make the line too thick, but you can hit the top and bottom and still have a nice thin line that's super defined. And I mean, in certain designs, man, don't be afraid to make those lines bold, man. It's kind of a free-for-all now. There's nothing that's really out of the question. And so bold lines are something that's really in right now. But still, you don't want to make big fat lines either. So bold and fat, I'd say, is two different things. So don't misquote me on that. Walking around talking about age and talking about big fat lines in people's head. Nah, they still gotta look good. You see, I'm doing the same thing with this part, and as I go through the design, it's gonna be the same thing. I hit that top line, get that defined, and I come back and I hit the bottom of that line. And really, like I said, I'm just going through now. I'm just putting the definition on my design, and this is simple. I want to get into doing more complex designs on my YouTube. Like, this is something I really haven't done a lot of. It's showing like design techniques, and so like I said, I'm gonna start out with something simple for you guys, and then I'll get into showing you guys how to do more complex designs. But the biggest thing is making nice defined lines. Your line work is like your biggest thing that makes your design stand out. So if you have clean lines, no matter what the design is gonna look good. A lot of times when I used to do designs, I would only hit that top line, never came back, hit the bottom, and designs were whack, man. So now you see how I kind of got this flaring out, and I don't know, I'm really just kind of freestyling the back of this right now. Like, I feel like every time we do this, I kind of change up the back of it. Sometimes I'll do different things with it. This is just one variation. If you go on my Instagram, I've probably posted this one or two other times, and you'll see the back is always kind of different. Always keep the front of it the same with the three zigzags, and then how I kind of finish the bottom, like I said, it just kind of varies. Just kind of go off how I feel. But he'll give me the credibility to kind of do what I want with it, man. He trusts me with his design, so with his haircut. So hasn't been any complaints, man. Continues to keep coming back. So you see here doing the same thing, coming up. And like I said, when it comes to making like small little tweaks in your designs and making fine points, you always want to just use like the corners of the clippers. So like if you think about like the first 1 or 2 teeth, just using that, you see like when I'm going around my corner, the round part like that, I'm just using like a couple teeth just to get that definition. So now I'm just gonna throw a little fade into this just to give the design a little more definition. And so I'm making a guideline. It's the exact same shape as the curve that goes around, and I'm just gonna fade that in. And so I still have a little bit of darkness on the bottom of that, but it's gonna fade into it. It's gonna come out. It's gonna be a pretty nice design. Like I said, it's just something basic, real quick, man. Nothing too complex. Like I said, in the future, I'm gonna show you guys something more complex. I might do some videos just with designs, not even a haircut, just design, kind of fading designs and stuff like that. Because the way you fade them, and you can really change the whole look. Like I could have did a lot more with this design if I really put my mind to it. So using the same fade techniques, I'm not even gonna use any guards on this. I'm just gonna take it with my masters all the way closed, and I'm just gonna slowly work them open, just blending them out, because I don't have a ton of space to fade up into, and I don't want it to be bald because I still want that definition from the line. And so really, when my clipper's all the way open on your masters, it's a number 1. So the darkest part of this design is gonna be a number 1 when I get done with it. And that will still give me enough darkness. You see, I still have enough darkness that you can still see my defined lines. If I lose you guys at any point throughout this, man, feel free to ask me any question you guys want. Like I said, I'm sitting here, I'm watching this video with you right now and giving you all the details and all the tips. So if you feel there's something I missed, you got a question about anything, man, just leave a comment or shoot me a message or whatever on Instagram, here on YouTube, wherever. Just get a hold of me and I'll clarify anything if you guys need any help. And so you see I just got my detailers. I'm just kind of cleaning up just hairs just on the bottom of the neck and stuff. When you get down towards like the bottom of the neck, the hair likes to grow in different directions. And so like right here where I'm blending out right now, the hair was like growing to the side. And so I had to kind of come at it that way to get a good blend into it. Like if I kept trying to hit it the opposite way, it wouldn't have came out right. So now right here on the bottom of the design, I still want my faded look, like it would be faded if it went all the way around still. And so I'm just gonna take my number 1 like I did on that back part I just faded, and just cut that all the way down. And I'm gonna kind of just start closing my clippers and kind of just taper out the bottom of it, and I'm gonna taper it to bald. But you see where I had the points of the design, I'm still gonna keep the end of those points dark, because I don't, if I bald those out, then you're not gonna be able to see the defined line. It's just gonna look like a messed up design. So now with the hairline, I'm gonna comb his front hairline down. I have a number 1 guard on, and I just comb down like the first ½ an inch and just trim the front hairline down because I want to get a nice line on it. This isn't recommended for everybody. Not everybody wants you to trim their hairline down, taper it down. It's something you definitely want to ask your client, because I've seen a lot of people that come in, they ask for it to get tapered down, and I see some barbers who would just taper it down without asking, and then all of a sudden people are upset and they come in complaining about how their hairline got tapered down, and that's not what they wanted. So it's always good to ask before you do it. Like I said, him in particular, he likes his hairline tapered down. It does, when the hair is longer, it does give a better line, and a more defined line that's gonna last longer. here with the lineup. Same lineup techniques I teach in my other haircut tutorials, and that's something that I'll get into more. Is I do have lineup videos on my channel, but I'm gonna make more videos just focused on lining hair up, man, because like obviously we all know it's one of the most important parts of the haircut. It's gonna make it or break it, no matter how good the fade is. If the line ain't right, people ain't gonna be happy, man. So yeah, I'll do more detailed tutorials talking about how to do better lineups. Some little tricks and stuff with the clippers. So here you are. I have my finished product right here. Is a finished design, finished haircut. You see, it was already styled with the twist bunch. I did that in the beginning. So yeah, there it is. That's the end of the video. You guys got questions? Make sure you hit me up. But this has been Adrian the Barber, and I'm out. Appreciate everybody watching my videos. If you like what you see, you're learning a lot, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I go live and every time I'm posting new haircut tutorials or anything barbering. I'm posting everything. Everything has to do with barbering. So make sure you hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel. If you got questions, hit me up. Follow me on social media. And remember, every Tuesday, 8:30 Central Standard Time, we'll be going live with the Hair Heroes Live video cast podcast. I don't even know what to call it, but make sure you tune in 8:30 p.m. Central every Tuesday. We'll be live, man. This is Adrian the Barber, and I'm out.